Beneath the shimmering waters of Florida and the Gulf Coast, there are whispers of cities swallowed by the sea. Stone walls, mysterious formations, and rumors of temples rest below the waves. Clues to civilizations that may have thrived long before written history. Could these be remnants of cultures erased by cataclysmic floods? Or are they nothing more than tricks of nature, misread by human imagination? Tonight, we dive deep into the enigma of America's sunken cities, an ancient mystery science struggles to explain. Were these places part of a forgotten pre-flood world, or evidence of a timeline much older than history allows? Stay with us until the end, because the truth hidden in the depths is stranger than fiction. And before we begin, make sure to subscribe for more chilling mysteries science can't explain. The legend of lost lands. Long before European explorers reached the Americas, native traditions spoke of lands swallowed by the ocean. Along Florida's coast, the Timucua and Calusa tribes told stories of cities beneath the water and ancestors forced to flee rising seas. These tales mirror global flood myths, from Noah's Ark to Atlantis, raising the question, could they be memories of real events? Scientists acknowledge that, during the last ice age, sea levels were nearly 400 feet lower. Vast stretches of land that once connected Florida to the Gulf were submerged as glaciers melted. What once stood as thriving coastal settlements may now be hidden beneath waves. But the myths go deeper than rising seas. They speak of temples, plazas, and stone structures, not just villages. Could there truly be cities waiting in the depths, holding secrets of a pre-flood America? The Bimini Road Connection. In 1968, divers off the Bahamas discovered a strange underwater formation. Long, rectangular stones aligned like a road. Called the Bimini Road, it sparked global headlines, with many claiming it was part of the lost city of Atlantis. While scientists argue it's natural limestone fractured by erosion, the mystery refuses to fade. Why? Because similar underwater structures exist along Florida's coast, yet they're rarely discussed. Some diverse report walls, pavements, and columns beneath the Gulf of Mexico. Could Bimini be just one piece of a massive submerged civilization stretching from the Caribbean to Florida? Critics dismiss these claims as pseudoscience, but the uncanny geometric alignments suggest human design. If true, America's sunken ruins might connect directly to one of humanity's oldest mysteries, the Atlantis legend itself. Is it coincidence? Or are we staring at the remnants of a lost prehistoric world? Florida's Gulf anomalies. Just off Florida's Gulf Coast, fishermen and divers have stumbled across puzzling underwater features. Reports describe stone-like formations, circular mounds, and patterns resembling foundations. One such site, near Venice, Florida, reveals massive stones stacked in unnatural arrangements, as if they were once part of walls. Marine archaeologists hesitate to call them man-made, fearing backlash from mainstream science. Yet skeptics can't explain why so many of these structures mimic human architecture. If they are natural, why do they appear aligned, measured, and intentional? Some researchers speculate these ruins belong to a society that lived when Florida's coastline stretched miles further into the Gulf, before rising seas swallowed their world. Could this be evidence of America's own Atlantis, buried under centuries of sediment and secrecy? And if so, who built them and how far back does their story go? Ancient maps and clues. Clues to America's lost coastlines may lie in old maps. The controversial Piri-Reis map of 1513, drawn by an Ottoman admiral, depicts parts of the Americas with uncanny accuracy long before modern surveys. Even more strangely, it shows coastlines that would only have been visible before the last ice age. Floods. Could cartographers have copied their knowledge from ancient seafarers who mapped lands now submerged? If so, Florida's lost cities may once have been well known. European explorers also recorded rumors of sunken ruins in the Caribbean and Gulf. Sailors told of pillars glimpsed beneath the waves, and fishermen sometimes pulled up carved stones in their nets. While historians dismiss these as exaggerations, the consistency of such reports hints at something larger. Could these maps and stories be echoes of civilizations erased by water, their legacy only faintly preserved? the mysterious Florida Keys structures. In the shallow waters of the Florida Keys, divers have uncovered coral-covered shapes resembling roads and walls. Some formations run parallel for hundreds of feet, creating what look like ancient avenues. While marine geologists argue they are natural coral ridges, others see too much order in the patterns. Local legends speak of islands that once stood where only water exists today. Could these ruins be remnants of ceremonial plazas or trading outposts long submerged? Some researchers link them to pre-Columbian civilizations, perhaps even predating the Maya. Intriguingly, sonar scans of deeper waters near the Keys show anomalies shaped like pyramids and domes. If these are man-made, they would force us to reconsider America's true prehistory. Were the Keys once home to a forgotten city, erased when the seas rose, leaving only mysterious ruins hidden beneath the turquoise waves? Cuba's sunken megaliths. In 2001, a Canadian exploration team scanning the sea floor near western Cuba made a stunning discovery. Massive stone structures nearly 2,000 feet underwater. Sonar images revealed geometric shapes, rectangles, pyramids, and roads, covering several square miles. The formations looked eerily similar to ancient cities. If confirmed, this site could rewrite human history. How could such colossal ruins end up at such depths? Mainstream scientists hesitate, suggesting natural geology or sonar errors. Yet divers who visited reported megalithic blocks larger than anything at Stonehenge. Some even compared it to Atlantis, described by Plato as a great civilization swallowed by the sea. But here's the kicker. The Cuban ruins align geographically with Florida's underwater anomalies. Could they be part of the same vanished culture? If so, America's Gulf may hide the remains of a sprawling ancient network an advanced world science refuses to acknowledge. Native memories of the flood. Native tribes across Florida and the Gulf Coast share strikingly similar stories. An ancient flood that swallowed whole cities. The Choctaw, Creek, and Seminole recount tales of great waters that forced their ancestors to higher ground. Some legends describe stone temples disappearing beneath waves, while others speak of shining cities that sank overnight. Unlike myths of faraway lands, these stories are tied to the very coastlines where anomalies are found. Could these oral traditions be direct memories of Ice Age floods? Science confirms that around 12,000 years ago, melting glaciers caused catastrophic sea level rise, flooding vast areas worldwide. Archaeologists agree people lived on those ancient coastlines, but they hesitate to accept that advanced settlements existed there. Yet tribal legends hint otherwise. Could these voices from the past hold the key to understanding America's sunken cities? Truths preserved in story where science looks away? The Younger Dryas mystery. Around 12,000 years ago, Earth was rocked by a sudden climate shift known as the Younger Dryas. Temperatures plummeted, glaciers melted, and sea levels rose dramatically. Some scientists believe a massive comet strike triggered these events, flooding coastlines worldwide. If true, it may explain why Florida's Gulf once held thriving settlements now hidden beneath water. Archaeology. Graham Hancock and other controversial researchers argue this period marks the destruction of an advanced global civilization, remembered in myths like Atlantis. Critics dismiss such claims as pseudoscience, but the timing matches flood legends from across cultures. Could America's sunken ruins be relics of this cataclysm? If structures off Florida and Cuba date back to this era, then history books are missing an entire chapter of human achievement. Was there once a lost civilization erased overnight, leaving only submerged ruins as silent testimony? Science versus mystery. Mainstream archaeology hesitates to embrace the idea of sunken cities in the Gulf. They argue most formations are natural. Coral reefs, fractured limestone, or sand ridges shaped by currents. Funding for undersea research is limited, making it easy to dismiss controversial finds. But the sheer number of anomalies, from Bimini to Florida, Cuba, and beyond, suggests a pattern. Why do so many look like walls, roads, and plazas? Independent researchers continue to dive these sites, collecting photos and testimonies. Some evidence is compelling. Cut blocks, right angles, and alignments matching celestial patterns. Yet science demands proof, artifacts, carvings, or human remains before rewriting history. Could it be that such proof lies buried under centuries of silt, waiting to be uncovered? Until then, America's sunken cities remain a tantalizing possibility, half dismissed as fantasy, half burning with mystery. What if it's true? Let's imagine, just for a moment, that the stories are true, that Florida's Gulf and Caribbean waters really do hide ancient cities, swallowed by floods long before recorded history. What would it mean? First, it would prove that advanced civilizations existed in the Americas far earlier than textbooks claim. It would link native flood myths to real events. It might even confirm that Plato's Atlantis story wasn't pure myth, but a distant memory of humanity's lost age. And most importantly, it would force us to rethink human history, not as a slow, linear march, but as cycles of rise and catastrophic collapse. Maybe America's coasts guard more than ruins. They guard the warning that civilizations can vanish overnight. The waves cover the truth, but they cannot erase the questions. Could the key to humanity's forgotten past be resting beneath Florida's waters? The mystery of America's sunken cities lingers like a shadow beneath the sea. From strange formations off Florida to Cuba's underwater pyramids, from tribal flood legends to ice age cataclysms, the evidence piles up, but never quite resolves. Science may dismiss these ruins as natural, but the stories, patterns, and anomalies whisper of a lost world waiting to be uncovered. Were these truly cities swallowed by the sea, or illusions carved by time? Perhaps the answer lies just beyond our reach, beneath the waves of the Gulf. What do you believe, natural formations or evidence of a pre-flood civilization? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And if you've enjoyed this journey into one of history's deepest mysteries, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, because we've only just begun exploring the mysteries science can't explain. Until next time, keep questioning and keep searching.